Hey guys, this is Tony, we're at Chocolate Secrets, and we have just put together a brand new chocolate making kit. It doesn't matter what holiday you're gonna be using it for, whether it's your birthday or an anniversary or Valentine's. And so I have our little handy dandy pair of scissors right here. Slice, and we get to, unboxing. I've got a big old box of cherries, which I shall also be enjoying right now. We have a box of our hand-painted bonbons. I'm gonna show you a quick unboxing within an unboxing. Cute little heart. And inside is, drum roll, a flavor guide. And all of the hand-painted bonbons that you could ever possibly eat because they're delicious. And then, last but certainly not least, for the immediately consumables, a couple of hearts. Because that's really cute. Just because I'm wearing a nice shirt means I'm going to be able to put on a little apron because we don't want to get our Valentine's or birthday wear or our anniversary kit, anything messed up. And look at that, fits everyone like a glove. Didn't have to worry at all. This is going to be our Eiffel Tower mold. We actually have a couple of different sticks that are going to be paired along with it. So you can either use them for making a lollipop or you can actually just do the piece independently. I've got cocoa butter in red and in pink because it's a very loving holiday this time of year. I have sprinkles in red and pink because they're cute. And then for my decorative utensils, I have two different paint brushes with different heads right here. This is gonna be the chocolate for our chocolate making kit. Okay, so we've got cocoa butter here. It's just gonna be the paint that we're gonna be able to use to get anything done on top of our molds. We're gonna be using the microwave 30 seconds at a time and then just mixing between so that we can get all of the cocoa butter, all sorts of evenly liquid. Okay, I wanna show you. This is just after 30 seconds. You can tell it hasn't melted at all, really. I can feel a little bit of the warmth, but you can't. So I'm gonna mix it around a little bit, kind of puncture some holes inside of it, and it's gonna help it melt a lot faster. Look at that, my goodness. Toothpick will work, shish kebab skewer. You can see the little marks that I'm putting inside of here with this so that I can give it a little bit more air to move around. So you see this one is just after 30 seconds. Being inside of the microwave, and you've got a little tiny bit of melting. We're only gonna be doing them 30 seconds at a time so that we don't burn anything. So this red has come up a lot better. You can see that guy right there. Now that's after the second 30 seconds. Say that 5 times fast. Oh wow, yeah. You see how it just really freely spins inside of there? Oh wow, yeah. Now, you can't see any of the solid pieces anymore, but I can feel them with this stick, which is why we are using it to agitate the cocoa butter. So that third wave in the microwave at 30 seconds did it absolutely perfectly. We are completely liquid right here. Both of these are perfect. If you've got 2 different colors, you can actually just use 2 different sides of a stick. So if we're gonna be putting little spots on there, we can use our little stick to put a little dot wherever we want. That's gonna show up real cute all over the place. There we go. Then I'm gonna take my other side, which is a much finer point to it, and I'm gonna be able to draw a little bit better. See, I can really kind of take this to give it a little bit of movement inside the paint. So I'm just gonna get a little dab on top of there so that I can give it like an almost see-through layer of red that goes on top of here. Oh, there we go. There we go. Paint the entire background. Not too darn shabby. And then for this last one with the paintbrush, what I'm gonna do is do a little splatter. There we go. This is why we have the plate down, is because you don't want to get this everywhere, because I am just gonna be flicking this paintbrush. This is the most fun, it's also the most dangerous way to do it. You're gonna get really cool streaks like this. Just get a big hunk of cocoa butter on there and throw liberally. I'm gonna switch this out for the red one and jump right back in. I'm gonna switch angles on it so you can get one streak going one way, one streak going the other way. There it goes. Ha ha ha. Final. Fin. Done. So I've got what I did with my sticks on this one. I've got what I did by flicking the paintbrush on this guy. Let me hold it upright for you, not that it really matters. And then I've got my brushed paintbrush on this side right here. And we're gonna show you what they all look like later on down. I've got a couple pieces of chocolate I'm gonna put inside of here so that we can microwave it and temper it through that method. So I'm gonna take half of the chocolate inside of here, I'm gonna put it inside of a bowl, and then I'm gonna put it in the microwave, and we're gonna do 30-second intervals so we don't burn the chocolate. Go. So just so you can see, this guy barely looks like it's changed at all. That's why we're doing the 30-second intervals. The bottom of it is hotter than heck, so make sure you're wearing a glove unless you have chef hands, which can't feel any temperature anymore. There we go, there we go. Throw it right back inside that microwave. Here we go. Look at that. See, it's really starting to melt up really, 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 really well for me. So you're gonna fold the chocolate inside of here, okay? So you're gonna come up from the bottom, whip it around, and that's how we're gonna create this great temper that we're gonna get on this. So if you leave this, it's really gonna just stay solidified in the center. I've got this one on the third of the 30-second intervals. Say that really fast, right? And as long as you keep folding this like I'm doing right here, it'll be just fine and you'll be able to keep it inside of this temper. Okay, so if you'll notice, I don't have any more chunks inside of this guy. There it goes. And you're gonna wanna catch a little bit of sheen on the chocolate. Once it's completely homogenized, once it's all liquid, we're going to be adding a couple of pieces to seed the chocolate, right? Okay, so you can put about 6 whole ones inside of here, of the ones that we're using. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And that's going to help the chocolate kind of know where to find its proper structure. Oh my gosh, look at that. Absolutely perfect. Okay. And our little test to find out whether or not it's actually finished tempering is just gonna be the spatula itself. I'm gonna wipe this part off, leave the chocolate on the back of it, and set it down. If this guy gets a real great temper that you can see on top of it, so it's gonna be shiny, it's going to have like a lot of structure, it's gonna cool down really quickly, then it will be in temper. You can kind of even move the spatula a little bit once it's finished and it'll snap for you, and that's when you can really hear that it's perfect too. All right, I've got a blank one that I'm gonna show you. In this piece right here, I'm just gonna pour dark chocolate so you can actually find out what's happening. Here we go. My hand-eye coordination is pretty terrible, so don't feel bad about missing. I do it all the time. Look at that, 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 look at that. We're gonna give it a real heavy fill so that when we tap it down, it gets all the bubbles out of it. And then I'm gonna just tap, 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 tap. And you're gonna get a real hard couple of tamps on here just to get every little bubble up. got maybe 4 or 5 of them that we just came up just from that 2 seconds of it. And they pop on their own, so don't worry about it. Especially because you're folding the chocolate over, you're gonna get a lot of bubbles trapped inside there. Perfect. Then, just so I can show you, I've got sticks. We're gonna put that pretty obviously in the stick part of the mold. I'm going to pour some more chocolate over the top of it. You can hold the stick in place when you're tamping this next part, but it really is unnecessary. Let's see. Pour one more. We've got a real heavy, sparkly, freckly jamboree going on in that one. So we're going to adorn it with sparkly, textury sprinkles. There we go. We have our paper cones here. It's actually gonna make it a lot easier to pipe all of the chocolate out. All I'm gonna do is take this white chocolate. There it goes. There it goes. Here we go. Snip off little pieces so that you can get, there it goes. There it goes, there it goes. Now, if you don't have a piping bag, or if you have used all the ones that are already inside the bag or the kit that we've given you, then just feel free to use a little Ziploc baggie, force everything to the very bottom of it, and snip off that top, just like we showed you right there. So this one I'm going to do real soft, real delicate, little stripes across. It's gonna be the absolute easiest thing for you to get done, because you're just squeezing the bag and moving your hand back and forth. I'm gonna give you a couple of dots on top of this one. Let's see. Give it a couple of streaks just to make them cohesive with the white and the red in there. And then just so this doesn't show up awkwardly on the background, I'm actually gonna lay a thin layer of white chocolate on it, and you'll see what it looks like against the dark chocolate. Let's see. With these bags, you can get real great detail inside that. And then we're gonna reprocess our dark chocolate so that we get a little bit more. That's why we left this little portion in there. And bye. So this will be the technical way. And by that I mean, I'm gonna pour this in here all at the same time. That, just messy enough. Okay, tap, 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 tap. Then, stick, stick, and stick. And then, just a little more chocolate on top to bury them. Towards you away from that stick, push away from that stick, and pull away from that stick. And this looks really, really messy right now, but as soon as you pop it out, there's a couple of tricks that we can do to clean everything up. Okay, so we've got our chocolates all solidified over here. I'm gonna show you how to pop them out and then how to trim them, and it'll be perfect at the end of it. Let's see. See how easily that one lifted off? You can actually really see whenever they pull up like that on there. Go for the easy ones first so that they just lift right out. When you see it really flush up against the mold, then you're gonna notice it's because it hasn't had a chance to solidify and pull back in on itself. It is gonna condense and then just naturally lift off. So if you start to pull and it doesn't come out, leave it. You can put it in the fridge for a quick second, maybe 2-3 minutes, but you're gonna leave it until it actually naturally lifts off of itself so that you're not cracking the piece. It's not gonna leave half of it still in there because the center of it's liquid. But this one's gonna be really easy to lift off, so we're gonna do it first. Flip it over. Oh my gosh, look at that. So, pop, leave it on there. You can push it through like this. We'll crack the edges and it'll pop right up. There it is, look at that. Okay, and if you'll notice, we have a ton of extra little runoff on the side of it, which is what our spatula, or you can use a knife, or you can use the blade of a scissors or anything really. We're just trying to clean these guys up a little bit. So we're gonna be able to scrape like that. There we go. Yeah. And you have a clean little Eiffel Tower. That's really good. Then, sprinkles. Thank you, have fun, see you next time.